Hi y'all, this is So Blessed. Welcome to the Blessed Place. How y'all doing? This is, of course, my sister,
D.
Danica. Well, no, D. Oh.
D Hill.
So most of you know her, but if you don't, also check out her channel, D Hill, Dhille. And she's got some good stuff over there, especially her spirited dishes. So this vehicle, I must be in my work mode because I gotta go to work today. But this video is like a segue or a continuation kind of your spirited dish is where I get the idea from. And Danica spent the weekend. We had a marvelous weekend. And we were talking last night about relationships, our favorite topic, at least mine.
Yeah,
And
her favorite topic.
Oh, her favorite topic is food, gourmet food. But we were talking about relationship, and we were basically, the idea of the conversation was the benefit of the doubt, and it's kind of a continuation of what you talked about in spirited dishes.
Right.
Oh,
you're so pretty.
How much of the benefit of the doubt do you give a guy, or do you give a relationship? You know, you're in a new relationship, you're talking, and as you get to know this person a little more, you start finding, you know, little things that you don't like about him or her, and how, you know, I don't know, help me explain it. How much do you give? How much do you?
And my main question on my channel was, what is the benefit of the doubt? Because there's a fine line between giving the benefit of the doubt and then lowering your standards. So what is the benefit of the doubt, first of all, and then what is too much benefit of the doubt? When do you just cut it off and say, no more benefit of the doubt, you know?
And maybe let's like give some examples. Like you mentioned in your video, and I'm going to put the link, I'm going to add the link of her spirited dish to this video, but you had said something like, okay, what if they don't have a car? What if you meet a guy and you know how the ones without a car always have had a recent car accident where the car was totaled?
I mean, well, you just missed that car. That car just got totaled yesterday.
Just got totaled before they met you.
Okay. Always.
So what if, okay, you hit it, you talk, and via you know, messages and phone conversations, and you seem to hit it off, and you have so much in common, and you're liking him, but then in the midst of the few weeks of talking, you find out he doesn't have a car, and
that's your fault, because when I didn't know, that was my fault, because I didn't specifically ask. It was on the website, hey, I got a car. So I didn't specifically ask, like, do you really have a car, like your profile says?
Because you figure, who's gonna lie about, you know?
Right.
And you figure, who's that age and does not have a car?
Right.
You know, so you think that's all. That's like, do you have teeth?
And we're in Florida.
to me, that's like, do you have teeth?
And we're in Florida. So in Florida, you know, when I meet somebody locally, like, you kind of need a car. So, you know, you just kind of think that they do.
Oh, I have a shave. This is my arm down.
Oh.
It's winter. No shaving in the winter. No. But anyways, so like we have a winter here in Florida.
Thank you. It's hot as I don't know what outside.
Okay, so anyway, like another example is, you know, what if you are, say, an educated woman, and as Danica is working on her master's for the 10th year, but she's still working on it. And what if you meet somebody and he has a high school education, but then he tells you, but he, you know, he's gonna go to college, or he wants to go to college, or you know, you looking at his potential, and he seems to have great potential, but you had already in your mind decided you want a college educated man. You know, do you give him the benefit of the doubt?
Now, I personally feel on that subject, if you feel that you want a college educated man, then I think that that's what you should hold off for. But I don't think it's given the benefit of the doubt if that's not something that you wanted just because you have a college education. Does that make sense?
I don't know.
Like,
say it again.
Like, I have a college education. Right. But it doesn't matter to me if he has one or not. So right. I don't think I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt if he just has a high school diploma. However,
no, I just mean if you want it. I'm saying if you want. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
If you want it,
so if that's right. what you wanted, then I feel. So that's another thing. It's like, it's a relative term, because it just depends on who it is. the benefit of the doubt for me might not be the same for somebody else.
Exactly.
Depending on not your standards, because you might still have high standards, but it just depends on what you like and what you don't like.
Right. So and we were discussing this last night, and to me it's a fine line between, say, giving someone the benefit of the doubt, playing the fool for that person, or lowering your standards. It's like, to me, it's like that. It's a fine line, and sometimes you don't know, the lines get blurred, and you're not quite sure. And I think that's why, especially as women, we are so caring and emotional, and I don't mean like emotional as in an emotional basket case, but I mean loving and caring and all of that good stuff wrapped up in there. And so we tend to give our children, our co-workers, our relationship, we tend to give people, a lot of leeway and benefit of the doubt. And those lines get blurred, and you don't know how much, how much do I give him? Okay, he doesn't have a job, but he's trying to get a job.
I think that a lot of times you fall into, the lines get so blurred because you don't set up like boundaries and like deadlines, and because it seems kind of almost like
business line.
Yeah, not only like a business transaction, but it also seems like you're trying to be like this mother figure. Like, by when will you have a car? When will you have a job? When will, you know what I'm saying? So it's like you don't want to be so proactive and be like, listen, now look, this is the calendar. I need you to point to the date that looks good to you, because I don't know how long I'm gonna be here, but this date look, like some kind of mob deal. Like, I'm gonna write a date on this paper, and I'm sliding over to you now. If that look good, then you can agree to that date. It's like, when are you gonna get this job, this car, this? You know what I'm saying? How long are we gonna have to do this? And I think that sometimes if you can do that, then I think it'll work better for a person who is not afraid to say, you need to give me some time, some dates, and something,
Now, give them the example that you were telling me last night when you were watching House Hunters International.
Oh, yeah. This lady, she was a lawyer, and I met this guy, and he had no job, no car, nothing. But he was college educated, but he was going to be a lawyer. And she said he didn't have anything, and she was like, oh no. But he asked her out on a date. She finally said yes to going out on a date with him, and he laid it all on the line and said that if you just give me a chance, give me some time, and he'll work on it. And now they're married, they're buying a house. He's a lawyer, she's a lawyer, and she said that at first she was just like, oh no, she was not about to give him a chance, but then she's glad that she did, because he ended up being successful and all that kind of stuff. Now, of course, they didn't give the actual timeline, so I don't know how long it took him to get to that point. I don't know if she, they didn't give details because it wasn't about the relationship, but I don't know, maybe she bought him a car, you know what I'm saying? Or because like this girl at work, maybe I should have said at work.
This girl that works somewhere.
This girl I know. She bought her husband a car. But she said she was dealing with two different guys, and one didn't have no job, no car, no nothing, and one trying to get there. The other one had a job, just didn't have a car, and had good potential. She helped him get a truck. When they, shortly after they met, and they've been together ever since, got married, and, they're doing fine now. This other guy, still 5 years later, ain't got no car.
So see, you hear stories like that, and then you say, well, maybe I can give this person the benefit of the doubt. Maybe I can give this person,
you potentially are passing up somebody who's good, So now that goes into what you were saying about let the person show you, like, this is how you know if they have the potential. So
and that's another thing.
Identifying the potential.
Exactly, identifying the potential. That's exactly it. And I was sharing with Danica, that I made her video response to her spirited dish, and y'all, I talked on about 20 minutes about this, but then I made the video in my car and while I was driving, and the video is so shaky, I said I cannot upload that. But what I said in the video was, I was talking about, even in my situation with my husband. Most of you who've been blessed ones for a while, you already know that I met my husband maybe about 26 years ago. But my husband, eventually, after knowing him for a few years, he went to prison for running for drugs, running criminal enterprise and all that. So the day he got out of prison, about 8 years ago, I went to pick him up. And I had to pick him up from a bus station. They wouldn't allow you to go to the prison. The prison would transport you on the bus to the bus station. So I went to the bus station to get him, and he's running across the street, y'all, with this green duffel bag. I can just still see this duffel bag. We probably still have it. And he's running across the street with this green duffel bag, and that's all he has in this world. You know, no job, no car, you know, no nothing. But I knew I'd already known him by this time, 18, 19 years. I knew he had potential. Now, this may sound wrong, but I knew he had went to prison for running criminal enterprise. I knew he had the intelligence, the tenacity to run a criminal enterprise, to get thrown in prison for 15 years. I knew he had potential to be a provider. I already knew what his potential was. I knew he had some hustle. I knew he had some game.
Our
I knew he
daddy
had some
was
hustle.
a hustler.
Yeah.
So we
know how to identify hustlers. And my
Yeah.
daddy was a hustler. So I knew he was a hustler. I knew he had smarts and intelligence. I knew he had tenacity. I know he had charisma.
Hustler in a good way, like know how to get money legally.
Yeah. I don't mean we don't mean prostitution.
Yeah.
We mean know how to hustle for money.
Yeah.
You know, that's the vernacular. That's black people vernacular for.
Just
I
wanted
know
to
how to make
clarify that.
make a little money on the side.
Yeah.
I know how to get a
Legally.
hustle. Right, legal. I know how to get a legal hustle on. So that's what my daddy, he knew how to get his legal hustle on. And I knew that Charles had potential for all that. But the thing is, where I saw that potential was when I went to get him. He's running across the street with his green duffel bag, but he also has 12 lollipops in his hand that he's made into like a bouquet of roses.
Probably them Tootsie Pops. Them Tootsie Pops come in that bouquet.
It was two. That's what it was. It was
Yeah,
two
I know,
Tootsie
they
Pops.
come
And
in-
I don't even like Tootsie Pop, y'all.
Well,
I
you
did not.
shoulda gave
I
them
didn't eat not
things.
one of them. I don't know what I did with them. Gave them away, threw them away. I don't know what I did. But the whole idea was he was running across with 12 of them in his hand like a bouquet of roses. And I looked and I said, I'm going to marry this man. Because up to that point, I wasn't sure. We had been friends. I loved him. But I was like, I don't know about this prison thing. But when I saw him, I was like, this man has potential. This man has, I mean, you know, you just getting released from prison and you got a bouquet of lollipops. And I was telling Danica that a lot of times it doesn't matter about how much money they have at the time. Yeah, eventually you want your man to be able to take care of you, and a woman's greatest need is security. Eventually, but a woman is willing to work with you when she sees potential, when she sees.
And that's the thing.
Yeah.
You have to be able to see it. And he been bringing those proverbial lollipops ever since.
Exactly. And so I saw it in him then, and I knew, you know, what I had. And so, but I was telling Danica, but in the meantime, but you got a man who says, I don't have any money, I don't have this, I don't have that. But there are still ways. He can make sure your car is, you know, is clean. He could make, you know, maybe he could gas it up for you sometimes. He could cook for you sometimes. He could take, if he got $10, he could take that $10 and make a little picnic so you could go out, you know, to eat. Or he could get his little hustle on. Let me go sweep some driveways or get some snow out. I mean, he could do something to get a little hustle on until the real job that he wants come along to show you some potential. And that, to me, that's where you decide whether or not you give a person a benefit of the doubt. Is because you see, okay, I'm not where I want to be. Say a man says, I'm not where I want to be. I'm not where I could provide for you yet. But let me show you what I can do for you right now. I can, you know, stay in constant communication with you and make you feel secure. I can be transparent about what's going on in my life. And
and with us, a guy has a lot to live up to, because like you always tell the story about Daddy and how he held an umbrella for you. My memory, like, of his persona was picking the fish bones out, because at age 30. Bye.
I'll see you Christmas.
Okay, love you.
Bye, baby.
See you, mother. See you Saturdays.
Sorry.
Love
Gotta.
you.
Bye.
Oh, you can edit.
Oh, yeah. But you don't keep that in there.
Bye. So you know, at 30 years old, Dad is, you know, asking me if I want fish, and I'm like, I don't feel like picking bones out. I'll pick them out for you. So he picks out the fish bones. Like, that's a lot to live up to. I remember Daddy used to always be like, your tire low, pull the car around back. You know, you're always going to make sure you're taking care of
He
stuff.
always took care of us, took care of
Right.
his girls. So when we look for a man to take care of us in that way. We're not, my mom and dad taught us how to take care of ourselves financially.
Right.
Yeah, don't get us wrong. That's a blessing to have, that security of a man to take care of you.
I want
and,
that.
and I want that too. I was just telling her I got to go to work today, and I was telling her I can't wait. I can retire forever for good. But so yes, don't get that twisted. We want a man that can take care of us financially also.
Yeah.
But our mom and dad taught us how to take care of ourselves financially if we had, if we had to. But you want someone who can take care of you as far as your needs,
making
and your
you feel
wants and your
taken care
desires.
of, and feel like a lady, and that kind of stuff. I that's what I like.
So to me, that's what I look at in the potential of a man. Not so much what you are earning right now, not so much what you are driving right now, not so much what you're living in right now, but first of all, do you have potential? Do you have intelligence? Do you have smarts? Do you have a little hustle in you? Do you have and for me, it's different things for different stuff for different person, but do you have God in the center of your life? That's just for me. Do you have God in the center of your life? Because that tells me what your potential is for the future. But also I'm looking at what are you doing for me right now with the $5 that you have right now, or the time that you have right now. And to me, that's where you decide whether or not you give the person the benefit of the doubt. I gave my husband the benefit of the doubt running across the road with that little duffel bag and knowing he didn't have a thing. But when Charles got got on the back of dump trucks. And I was proud of my husband getting on the back of a dump truck. Mm-hmm. He could have easily gone back to what he knew, mm-hmm. which he knew the streets. But I mean, he did whatever it took to show me and himself and God that he was not going back. Mm-hmm. And so that's when you say, okay, he has nothing, but and we even had a struggle with this. He didn't want to move here into, I say at that time, my house. I had already been here maybe about, 8 years or so, and he didn't want to move here because he didn't want to move into my house. But after just convincing that it made more sense to move here, where I was already established in my job and already had, a nice home and all that. But his pride, was getting in the way of that. But I gave him, the benefit of the doubt that he had nothing, but I could just tell that he was going to enhance my life. And a lot of times we can tell when we, in a few weeks or a few months, when we meet a guy, are you taking away from my life or are you enhancing my life? But a lot of times we give them too much of the benefit of the doubt. We go beyond what our gut instinct is telling us that he's subtracting from your life. He's not adding.
Exactly.
Go ahead, so I don't talk so much. Sum it up and so we can go.
Sum it up?
Or anything you want to add.
I just think that I still don't have it figured out. And I think that my basic rule going forward for myself will probably be something like, if I honestly can't handle it for the next year, if it's something I won't be able to stay in for the next year at least, then I shouldn't even start out with it, because shortly after I start the relationship, it's gonna be something that I'm gonna want to get out of, because I already know that it's something that I don't like. I already know that it's something that I'm not gonna want to do. So when you're given the benefit of the doubt, you gotta give it knowing that you can give it, not just give it because you're like, oh well, they need it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's like, that's just like, you ask me for $1,000. If I give it, I need to give it because I can give it, not because you just need it and now I can't pay my rent. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's like, give what you can give, but
if you give the benefit of the doubt, you got to know that you can handle it.
Know that you can handle it, mm-hmm. But you can't give it. Like the Bible says, grudgingly or of necessity, and then be mad because you gave the benefit of the doubt.
Go on, evangelist Danica.
All right, I know that scripture, that word. I've been feasting off that word, girl.
All right, love y'all. Thank y'all for stay tuning.
Stay tuning.
Oh, is that? Oh, stay tuned.
That's how we talking to TheBlessedPlace.
I know that's right. Thank y'all for staying tuned. Anyway, to the end of this, and Also, too, check out the Nika Spirit Edition. I'll add the link at the bottom. Y'all be blessed. Love y'all. Hi, y'all. This is So Blessed. Welcome to the Blessed Place. How y'all doing? It is Saturday the 15th, and I'm with my sisters, or at least 2 of the 3, and we're having our annual Hillary Girls, or Hillary Christmas. What is it? Annual Hillary Christmas Girls. I mean,
Annual Hillary Girls Christmas.
Annual Hillary Girls Christmas outing. So each year, about a few days before Christmas, we get together, and it started out a few years ago with us shopping, but the shopping becomes less each year, and the eating becomes a little bit more. So I'm looking forward to lunchtime. So anyways, there they are, strolling up to the mall with Denise, Danica. Bells will be ringing.
I know you did. I know you did not just sing a Christmas song. She hates Christmas songs.
I don't hate them. I just not in love with them. I just prefer not to hear them.
Or you just prefer to sing them, huh?
Okay, kids, tell me. Hey y'all, this is So Blessed. Welcome to the Blessed Place. How y'all doing? Go ahead on.
Go ahead and. Sorry.
You go ahead.
Hot dogs.
Anyways, we are having a little get together at my house, and it's Sunday, the 16th, I think it is. And Danica cooked some little, I don't know, food or d'oeuvres or whatever, but it looks delightful and delectable. So I'm gonna let y'all see. First of all, that's Deborah. Look at my baby. There's the cook. This is Danica. I know, you know, came out. Denise. So, this is the food. Danica, what is this?
That's flatbread with bacon and spinach. And
Flatbread with bacon and spinach and feta cheese. And what is this? That little dip.
That is sour cream and mayo and some spices.
Okay.
Hot sauce.
What you call it? Argile sauce?
There ain't no au jus.
Also, oh. What is this, Danica?
That is pizza dough, and that is sausage and cheese and cream.
Oh, and then a nice little, is that fruit?
That's smoked cheddar and tomatoes.
Oh, like a little bouquet or something. Okay. And what is that?
That is a deconstructed taco. It's like the elements of a taco.
Okay. So we're about to grub on these delightful dishes.
Lord, we thank you in Jesus' name. Amen.
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 All right.